Hi, you guys. Give me 1 second, okay? I'm gonna just drop a couple of resources in the chat and then we'll get started with our topic for tonight. Are you guys able to see the title? I briefly did a TikTok live before, as always. We know the drill. And I always let them know that I hop on YouTube live shortly after. But over there, I had already started a discussion Oh, that's strange. Okay. About how accountability demolishes attacks. So that's going to be our discussion for the night, and we're going to hop into that because your breakthrough may just be on the other side of you taking accountability. Not just the role that you played in something, but sometimes you have to take accountability for the role that someone else played in your life. Because people can know what they did and what they said, and they still will not take ownership for it. Thank you to whoever liked the live, by the way. Thank you, babes. Okay, let me see if I can add something else to the chat. Okay, I think I can. Where's everyone tuning in from while I get this chat together? Thank you to who liked the live. Happy Thursday, you all. Thank you, Eduardo. Shout out to Miami. The people want to know why you still haven't shared your skincare routine. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, babes. Don't worry, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. That and a get ready with me for my, I don't know, my go-to makeup routine. That's gonna be on my beauty channel though, babes. Miss Read the Room too. It's linked in the description box. I got you guys, don't worry. It's coming. I just don't want to rush it. I want it to be right. I want everything to be right. I want the scenery to be right. Thank you to everyone who liked the live, by the way. I appreciate you, babes. The topic. The topic for tonight, accountability demolishes attacks. For those who are tuning in from TikTok, you guys already know the inspiration behind it. I knew I wanted to go live today because for one, the second grant writing webinar will be taking place tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I wanted to see you guys, check in with you guys before we kick that webinar off because I'm probably gonna relax for the rest of the week, rightfully so. But yeah, if you haven't secured your spot yet, do so, girl, because it's less than 24 hours away. Ma'am or sir, go ahead. For everyone who already secured their spots, we're so excited to see you there. I actually got a notification from one of these speakers and they told me like we have the slides ready and stuff like that. So also for the people who were able to make the July 10th webinar, tune in again to tomorrow's session. It will be free of charge. You will not have to pay again. So yeah, And also, I have another announcement as far as the music publishing administrative service that's also available for my musicians who need assistance with properly registering their composition and their songs, or if they had some songs that they already put out there and they're like, okay, but I'm not receiving royalties from it. Don't worry, we can get the documentation in order so you can start getting paid for your labor, okay? So we got the announcements out of the way. The direct links for both of those resources are in the chat, and they're also going to be linked in the description box. But the reason why me also talking about those announcements is really important is because on my platform, taking accountability also looks like you taking ownership of your life again. So when you know someone betrayed you or backstabbed you, 9 times out of 10, they are not going to reason with you once the damage is done. They're not going to help you pick up the pieces once they've stabbed you in the back. They're not going to take the knives out of your back. That's not the way that it works. Something that my father used to always tell me when I was younger, when I was going through a bunch of foolishness, is he would tell me, well, life isn't fair. And I used to get so frustrated because I would be like, you're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm hurt about it. And now that I'm older, I understand why my dad would immediately go to that. As much as you want to stay on this topic, as much as you want to ruminate in the wrongdoing against you, nothing is going to change until you accept the fact that sometimes things happen to you and it's just not fair. What are you going to do next to where you can get back on your feet again? My dad started instilling that in me like when I was 4 years old. My dad never coddled me to this day. I remember one time I came to my father and I was like, and this is so messed up. And he said, girl, he said, now we don't do all of that crying. He said, you call me when you're ready to brainstorm some solutions. And I started laughing because I was like, you're absolutely right. I called the wrong person. If I want to cry, I need to call this person. If I'm ready to come up with a solution, I need to call this person. So even taking ownership of how to compartmentalize your relationships is a form of taking accountability. That's why when he told me that, I couldn't cry and be like, oh my gosh, you're being so insensitive. My father, I already know how he is. If I have a problem that needs a solution, you call me. If you want to sit up here and cry all day about it, do not call me. And what's so interesting is my father and I, we are very much alike. Even if I have my little moments, I quickly gear towards, okay, well, what can I do about it? What's a solution? What can I look into? What got me thinking about this is a lot of people, it's not even just about the betrayal. It's not even just about them backstabbing you. As much as it's about them banking on you staying stuck in the place that they betrayed you at. Whether it be physically, like literally, or it could be emotionally. Some people haven't stepped into their seasons of progression and success because they're still stuck in a space from 10, 15 years ago where someone betrayed them or did them wrong. And when I say take accountability, that's not allowing people to get a slap on the wrist and evade the role that they played in it. It's bigger than that. It's about you acknowledging the fact that they did me wrong. They were the perpetrator. They were a co-conspirator in the offense, in the wrongdoing. But I can bank on the fact they're not going to do anything to make it right. So what do I need to do to clean up this mess that I didn't even make? Most people are banking on you not cleaning up the mess that they made in your life. Why? Because they know most people are afraid of taking accountability. Most people are going to shift that responsibility onto someone else. And the dangers of it is, and what a lot of people aren't taught, unfortunately, especially women, what a lot of women aren't taught is no one is going to advocate for you the way that you do. I had that discussion with my grandmother approximately 3 years ago. I was taking some heavy hits. I had to speak with someone from my church and I laughed about it and I said, then people sold me a pipe dream. We both cracked up laughing. And I said, but it's all right. By the grace of God, I'm able to clean up the mess that was made. I had to take ownership for the fact that I let somebody sell me a pipe dream professionally. And now I have to clean it up. But when I was in that season, I remember my grandmother, she was trying to pour into me as much wisdom and as much encouragement as she could. She did. My girl was trying. And I said, Granny, I got so tired of us talking in circles, because I said, you know what? I just got this revelation. I said, Granny, to be honest, I got in too deep. I said, I shouldn't even let these people tell me X, Y, and Z, because the fact of the matter is no one is going to advocate for me the way that I will. I'll never forget this discussion, because my grandmother is never at a loss for words. And she paused, and I was like, my granny finna chew me up. She probably finna chew me up. And she said, you know what? You're absolutely right. Coming from a woman who has decades of experience over me, kids, grandkids, the whole nine. And my granny, I remember writing a paper on my granny in the 6th grade about her being my dundada in life. How she was my example, because she wasn't just a pillar in her community, in her family. She was a pillar at work. My grandmother has always been the backbone. So when I heard her at a loss for words, I said, uh-oh, I might have to deal with the aftermath. But her sitting there and telling me, you know what, you're right. It probably took her back to seasons of her life where she was like, you know what? My breakthroughs came when I started to advocate for myself. Or I had to deal with certain consequences because I did not show up for myself the way that I needed to, because other people weren't going to do it. And as a woman, that's something that you have to sit with. Because most of us aren't taught that until it's too late, until we're in too deep to a situation. So accountability demolishes any attack that's sent your way. Because most people, especially women who are defying odds in certain areas, most people are not banking on you taking accountability for the wrong that happens in your life, even if it wasn't at your own hands, even if you weren't the initiator of it. Another thing that I was getting into as a believer, we all know this, right? I'm a Christ follower, first and foremost. It even had me thinking about scripture that talks about to whom much is given, much is required. When I was having a discussion with a family member about generosity, and I said, if you are in a position to help someone, make peace with the fact that once you give them something, you may not give it back. And I said, that's not me allowing that person to evade taking responsibility. It's not even about that as much as it's about you preserving your own emotional and mental well-being, to where you're not breaking your heart every day thinking about the fact that they're not showing up for you in the way that you have constantly showed up for them. I also thought about, though, when it comes to God, just me speaking from personal testimony, there were certain seasons of my life, there were a lot of hardships, there were a lot of challenges, but when I think back on them, I'm like, wow, it was all a test. How do you handle the responsibilities that you have been given? Because the blessings that we pray for, we're so focused on getting to the destination, but we don't acknowledge the fact that there are certain blessings that require great capacity. And when God is giving you the challenge, like, this is what's going to be required of you before you get to this season. I hope you know this. Before you get to this particular level on the ladder, you're going to have to be on point when it comes to your discernment. You're going to have to anticipate betrayal and sabotage attempts, because people want to be where you are, even if they haven't put in the work. There are going to be some people who are going to come into your life with the intentions of riding off of your coattails. And on top of that, they're going to feel entitled. How are you going to manage that? How are you going to deal with that? Especially if you're someone who's being called to lead a team. How are you going to deal with that? Are you going to be able to compartmentalize a team member? Speaking about generosity, you're praying for big blessings, right? You know that in order for you to get blessed with a big business, You developing a team is a form of generosity. You're going to have to be responsible for people's payroll. So if you're crying about giving to someone in a season right now, you're not showing that you have capacity for the next season that you're praying for. So I was reflecting a lot today that there were a lot of things, crazy things that I went through. And just the previous season, I'm just now stepping into a space to where I'm like, oh God, it's making sense. And I'm glad I didn't throw in the towel. But I look back on that season, I'm like, all of it was a test. How did you deal with it? How did you transmute it? I was talking about this in some lives ago about how, like, I joke and I say that I'm an alchemist. I'm always creating something out of a life challenge or a life lesson. And a lot of the time it's through creative avenues. But you reap a reward from it because you're doing something constructive with the lemons that you've been handed. And that's what is meant by to whom much is given, much is required. What do you do with the seeds that are planted in your garden? If it's a bad seed, pluck it out. It's got to go. If it's a good seed, water it. You have to be a good steward. And what I realized about the people who did me dirty, y'all, is they were banking on me not taking action, because accountability, the moment you take accountability, an action plan is surely going to follow. And as much as I was evading the accountability that needed to be, I needed to take, the good and the bad. Okay, that was messed up. That was wrong. What are you going to do next? What are you going to do now? As long as I was prolonging that process, people were banking on me staying stuck in a particular season. And guess what? They were right. There is no short stepping. In order for you to get to the breakthrough, you have to conquer the battle. You have to get through it. Learn how to take the good with the bad. And even people who are doing you wrong, a lot of the time, the reason why they're not banking on you taking accountability, because they don't take accountability. Hence why they will never own up to the wrong that they did against you. They're going to keep projecting and deflecting. And how you flip the narrative on its head is you take ownership. You do something that they're too afraid to do. That's why they'll end up stuck in the space that they betrayed you at, not you. They'll fall into the trap that they set for you. That's another part of transmutation that's really important, is your mindset, to your perception. You have to be able to perceive that when you're betrayed, when the smear campaigns happen, when people try to demolish your reputation, you have to learn how to lead people in that season, because a lot of the time you're going to be elevated to a new space. That's why you have to be indifferent when people are trying to paint you out as a particular person or make you out to be the villain just because you set a boundary with them or you caught them out on what they did to you. Flip the narrative on its head. Be okay with being the villain in that regard. Because the moment you do that, you take their power away. It's hard when it's someone you love, yeah. You could love someone and acknowledge the fact that they gotta go. It's another part that I had to learn too. Love isn't just always about coddling people and enabling people. Sometimes love is holding them accountable, even if that means through your distance. Someone said, I mean, you're really pretty. Thank you, Alina. Thank you, babes. Let me catch up on these comments, you guys. It's hard when, I think I already read that. T, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're messy. T said, if you wear that outfit one more MF time, okay. I like this button up. It's cute. It cinches at the back. I mean, it's strict around here. Well, chew me up a little bit with that. Next comment. Someone said, bye, love you. Love you too. Hate to hear you couldn't stay. I mean, shoot, I don't know what to tell them. When I be getting an idea to go live last minute, I just grab whatever. It's strict around here. I mean, golly, y'all, I'm coming up here with a message and I'll take accountability. I won't wear this on the next live. Yo, I came to say, remember that God is always with you and good things will happen. Amen. God bless you too. L wig. I'm not wearing a wig. What? All right, let me handle this chat. Shout out to Juju on the beat. 547. Oh, thank you, Sunflower Army. Oh, shout out to Germany. Hi. Oh, thank you. Someone said perfect skin. Thank you. Actually, I want to perfect my skin a little bit more. Just a little bit more. People, please hit the like up and share the live and put the bell on. Yes, period. Brian Lynn. What is they saying? No, I haven't seen that, baby. Oh, wow. This is, most of y'all are going to have to go. Yikes. Someone said, you are so cute, girl. I like you. I wish you'd be my girlfriend. How old are you? I'm feeling great. Hi. Is it Eo? Hi, is it Christian? Hi, you guys. Shout out to Bangladesh. Shout out to France. Shout out to Paris. Sorry, you guys. I'm catching up on everything. Someone said you pressure queen. Thank you. Shout out to Florida. You know what? It's lashes. I do lash clusters. My lash map is 10, 10, 12, 12, 14, 14. Someone said, can we see your fit? No. Apparently I gotta apparently I gotta let this one go. No, apparently I gotta see someone laughing in the chat. Unfortunately, no. I just got breaking news that this one has to go. This particular fit cannot be brought back. I'm sorry. Shout out to Russia. Shout out to Chicago. Hi, Unchi. Someone said princess, period. Thank you, babes. Oh, thank you, Eduardo. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. The people want to know why you still haven't shared your skincare routine. I think I already read that. I'm gonna do it, you guys. It's gonna be on my beauty channel. That and makeup routine. Hi, Kevin. Oh, Kevin said I don't speak English. That's all right. Just hang in there, I guess. Shout out to Africa. Thank you. She is going, thank you. No, Tyra, Nicole, I am not. Hi, I love your channel. Glad that you enjoy the content base. I'm happy to have you in the reader community. Thank you, Asia. That's a beautiful name, by the way. I love Asia. I've always loved that name. Hi, sister, looking beautiful. Thank you, Philip. Gorgeous eyes. Thank you. No name, no dame. No, what's the no name in no dame? I don't know how to pronounce your username. I'm sorry, but thank you. I'm clocking T on the wisdom. My brother thinks you're cute. I'm weak. Can I get a shout out? Shout out to James. Thank you, Tyra. Thank you, baby. Thank you, thank you. Shout out to Argentina. Hi to everyone who's waving hi. I'm sorry. I'm catching up on the comments. What does I say? You're gorgeous. Oh, thank you. Thank you, love. Oh, thank you to everyone who's liking the live, by the way, too. Thank you, guys. Oh, Tyra, are you new here? Absolutely welcome. What's your name? Miss Read the Room. That's my username on TikTok, too. Vonda the Samurai. I love that. I love samurai. Everything about samurai. Samurai swords, all of it. You literally have a message to push. I do. And I'm doing the best that I can with what I got. Oh, Doyle Rules 11. No, I don't. I don't know him. I'm familiar with one of his songs, but I don't know him personally. Thank you, Tyra. You have great glowing skin. Thank you. You know what, you guys? I have to attribute that to keeping your skincare simple. I feel like when you add too many active ingredients, that can have like a negative impact on your skin, almost like your skin goes into a panic mode. And also just try your best to do right by people. I said this on the last TikTok live that I did, talking about like when you radiate with love, if that's your default setting, I do believe that it just shows up. It shows up in your life in more ways than one. Not just physically, but also when it comes to favor. When people feel like, how do things always work out in your favor? My mom actually like laughed about that. She was like, I don't know how, but she was like, I know you one of God's anointed. That's what she joked about. It was actually something that happened in the house, and we like had a little key about that. But you know, sometimes, you know, parents get worried and they're just like, how are you so calm in X, Y, and Z? And really, I feel like it's just rooted in the fact that when I say I don't mean wrong by people, and my intention it really is to love people and show up for people. Now, I am honest about the fact that if you do me wrong, sometimes I will check you. I will, especially if I'm hurt about it. Like, we're supposed to be better than that. If me and you, we don't really have rapport, I don't respect loyalty from you. But if I know you and I were supposed to be locked in, I'm going to take it there. I am. Because we're supposed to be better than that. So I do have that. I have that in me. But the reason why that passion comes up is because I genuinely do love people, like, to the core. And like on my TikTok lives and stuff like that, you will see certain people pop in, like friends from years ago, be like, oh my gosh, girl, hey, I finally caught your live. It's because like when I love people, I love you down. Like even when it comes to friends, like I don't really view my friendships. That's why I'm not frivolous when it comes to calling people friends, or you know how people have like a big crowd of friend groups and stuff like that. I've never been that person. I've always been a quality over quantity person when it comes to my connections. And my friends become an extension of family. Like our parents will still check in with one another. It's that deep. So when I love people to the core. And it never goes away. That's why there have been situations when me and my homegirls, we would have arguments, we would have disagreements, but we never stepped out of line. We never got on social media and aired one another's businesses out. It's not gonna happen. love is a very powerful force. And when you encounter love, when you operate from a space of love, that's why you're so sensitive to negativity and hate. On my platform, when I talk about envious attacks and things like that, it's never for people to go into hermit mode and isolate themselves from any and everybody. Because I became aware of certain red flags because I know what it feels like to have people in my corner and to have that love and to have people looking out for you. Now, it's not always going to be perfect. You guys aren't going to see eye to eye on everything. There's going to be disagreements. But that's completely different from someone having it out for you and setting you up for failure. And that's why I want people to become aware of those red flags and of those bad seeds, because you don't want the wrong people occupying space in your life, because they're going to take up room for those who really do mean you well. Someone said, block them people, bruh, I'm weak. I think I did, for the most part. Someone said, I feel your message is more important than your shirt. People so out of touch. Meditate or something, LOL. You know what? I had to laugh about it. You know, it is what it is. I don't take it personal, because I grabbed it real quick. I was like, you know what? And the same reason that he or she got on me for, that's the reason why I grabbed it, because I know it was an old reliable. They chewed me up a little bit. With that, they did. They chewed me up. They chewed me up so bad. I mean, dang, y'all. I'll try to see what I could do. I might even come with a new hairstyle. I didn't know it was so strict around here. Shoot. I'm the librarian lady. I didn't know they had me up here really putting it on for them. Okay, I'll step it up. I guess. I don't know. Welcome to the reader community, Alina. Happy to have you. I try to distance myself. She says I'm running. Oh, what? Like someone won't let you go? Oh, Vonda the Samurai. I was listening to the Green Eyes book. I love that. Someone said queen, period. Hi, Miss Bloomy. Oh, I see you waved. Hi, Alina. Hi. Let me catch up on the other comments. Oh my gosh. What are you doing? Spamming the comments is crazy. Thank you. I did something different. So I mixed my mattifying foundation with my luminous foundation, which sounds crazy. Well, I kind of didn't mix it. I went in with the mattifying one first. So like if I get oily or whatever, the matte is going to take it. But for the luminous glow, I put the luminous foundation on top. Sounds diabolical, but it worked. And also I let my concealer, my highlighting concealer, sit for a little bit longer. And like I went in with my little hand fan and let it dry down. When I like in person, phenomenal. I looked in the mirror and I said, oh, I did my big one. I can't wait to show you guys my techniques and stuff. It's not even just about products, but having a technique. Because a lot of the time I don't even use like super expensive products when it comes to like skincare, my beauty routines and stuff like that. I really don't. Like I'm the frugal queen. That's why when I find like cute luxury options or whatever and they're affordable on my beauty channel, and I have a long-standing partnership with one of the brands, so I'm super excited. I'm big on you enjoying luxury, but also not having to break the bank for it. You shouldn't have to break the bank in order to indulge in a little bit of luxury. You know, it's not that serious. Even if you do have it and you're like myself, like I could have it in the bank. I could afford to do X, Y, Z. I just don't want to. I would rather invest in my business. So that's the way that I am. So thank you. What is it, Crane? Crane, am I mispronouncing it? Thank you, babes. Hi, Daniel. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, I don't know. I also wanted to say that you talking about reading signs and people inspired me to tell some of my friends who are in toxic relationships. So thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. It's just lash clusters, babe. I always do a cat eye lash map or a cat eye style because I have like, you know, this shape of my eye going on. But the lash map is 10, 10, 12, 12, 14, 14. Outer corner. Let's see. Thank you, Praveen. Praveen said, today you are very beautiful. Thank you. God is good that we got it right today. Next time I'll change the fit too. Hi, Cream. What happened? Someone said, do you want to hear some drama that happened today? What happened? Oh, period. I got you, babe. Whoever placed an order for the grant writing webinar, I got you. I'm going to get on that, send you the details as soon as I get off live too. Period. I'm happy to see you there. Because another form of taking accountability, back to the topic for tonight, is even if you experience workplace sabotage, take ownership of your professional trajectory. If you are working under a boss who is actively sabotaging you, do not keep your destiny in their hands. They're not going to give you that promotion, Pookie Butt. They're not going to. It's not. Hate to be the bearer of bad news. They are not going to do it. In fact, that's actually why they brought you to their team, so they can keep a thumb on you and make sure you never get too high for their comfort. That's broken down in the Malicious Mentor excerpt in here. Also, there are some businesses, if you are a business owner, that will infiltrate your camp. That's broken down in the Encapsulate the Enigma excerpt in this publication. So you have to make sure that you have to make sure you're dotting all of your I's and crossing all of your T's when it comes to your professional advancement. And something that I'm really big on is like, you know, when we have these kinds of discussions, it's free of charge, right? It's nothing. I'm gonna just throw that out there. But when it comes to getting access to certain people and like them blocking off their time and things like that, that's the reason why I wanted to start conducting these webinars. And so you guys can get that intimate access and bypass the people who are playing. Get connected to experienced people, whether it be marketing, whether it be they know how to secure funding for you to start up a business, or if you're experiencing sabotage within your business, you have certain investors who started out with you and then they learned your business blueprint and now they want to start their own business and bail on what you built. So how do I keep my business afloat now that most of my investors backed out, even though they initially said they were agreeing to stay in the company and help to keep the company afloat? Learning about grants to even sustain your business is also important. So that's why I wanted to bridge that gap and start actually creating these opportunities and creating these networks for you guys. Because no one is going to advocate for you the way that you will. In that TikTok live that I briefly did before I hopped on here, I also talked about how some people, the reason why they're not quick to intercede is because what you're signaling when you finally stop waiting on someone and you help yourself is you're serious about your life. That's another reason why accountability is so important. When you stop waiting on people and sitting on a duck and you're just like, you know what, I don't even know how to go about this. I'm gonna just take one step day by day. The help will also start to come for you. Because people, sometimes they're willing to help you, but if they've been burnt in the past and they're like, no, I'm not helping another parasite. I'm setting a boundary this time around. There are certain people out there who will only help you if you look like you're willing to help yourself first. Some people are putting you through the test. You don't even know that they have the resources and the connections, but they're seeing what you're doing with your own life first. And if you just sitting there twiddling your fingers and crying, they're like, nah, that's looking like, that's looking like a liability. But if you're the kind of person who's showcasing, look, I'll make a way out of no way. I don't have too much knowledge in this particular area, but I'll do what I have to do to figure it out. Help will start knocking at your door. For some people, it's as simple as that. They're just putting you to a test. And as much as I talk about vet people, I've also made just as many videos talking about you also have to embrace when people are vetting you. That's not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. In this same publication, it actually talks about this, how boundaries are good business. When you're setting boundaries and the other person is setting a boundary, that's how you know that you guys will actually get business handled. Even with the people that I brought aboard to my team, and I'm still building, but one thing that I paid attention to is, are they the kind of person who helps themselves? Do they ask me follow-up questions? I pay attention to all of that, and I'm like, you know what? They're serious. They're joining the team. I'm gonna pay them to do X, Y, and Z. I want them to conduct this webinar because they're on it. When they start asking me follow-up questions and showing that they're detail-oriented, they start showing me that they're organized, they follow up even if they don't need to. Yeah, that's good business. And the people who I was like, I'm gonna pay them to conduct this webinar, they didn't even know that they were being vetted. Yeah. I was paying attention to everything, and I was like, you know what? I like the way that this person moves. I want them on the team. So some of you all, you're being put to the test. And what you're doing right now is either signaling this person is going to work with you, or signaling this person don't want nothing to do with you, baby. You're not moving enough. You're not thinking hard enough. And that's okay. Because if you're in that space, we're nipping it in the bud now. All right? And one of the first things that you have to start doing is stop being afraid to take action. That's another reason why accountability is important, is because an action plan will follow. Right once you decide to take accountability, all right, this hit the fan. What am I gonna do? That's when an action plan is gonna come to fruition. And the sooner you get those wheels in motion, the sooner you're gonna get out of that uncomfortable season. Just think about it like that. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited. And for people who are just like, oh, I was getting some comments and they were like, oh, when's the next webinar? I was like, baby, this is, these were the only confirmed dates for the grant writing webinar to teach you guys how to secure funding to start up a business or to scale your business. July 10th and July 24th were the only two official dates that we were able to solidify for this year at this time. But I do want to conduct some additional webinars for future reference. So be on the lookout for that. We'll see when I'm able to secure, webinar speakers, because that does take time. Like I said, I also like to vet, and I like to look over people's portfolios, do those reference checks, all of that good stuff before I solidify dates. But just know that I'm cooking up something for sure. And you will also learn about specific grants too in that grant webinar for you to apply and get some money. Oh, thank you. Someone said, never listen to the haters. They're going to hate regardless, whether you're doing good or bad in life. So stay true to you and be a good person. You know what? I like that. Amen to that. I love your hair. Thank you. I really feel like when I don't do too much, that's when I feel like I get the most compliments. Like if I have my hair slicked back, even when I don't wear makeup, like if I have my hair slicked back into a ponytail and like a simple lip combo with like a lip liner and some gloss or something, everyone's like, wow, you look beautiful. Your skin is glowing. And I'm like, thank you. And I try to experiment with like different hairstyles and stuff like that, but I genuinely think that there are certain hairstyles that overpower my features. So I go back to my little ponytail because it's like tried and true. And even with like my makeup routine, I don't use too many products. My skincare routine, I don't use too many products. I really feel like sometimes less is more. I don't really do like crazy patterns when it comes to my clothes. Like if you pay attention, it's a very neutral color palette. I just feel like simplicity works best for me. I think some people would call it like the clean girl aesthetic. Is that what it's called? Or is that like the category that it falls in? I think that if that shoe fits, that's definitely ringing a bell for me. Oh, thank you, Valerie. I love your lip combo. It's the same thing each and every time. Crown Queen Cosmetics lip glaze in the shade number 6. And then I put this on top, the Revolution Pout Balm Plumping Lip Gloss in the shade Milky Sheer Hollow. Same lip combo every single time. Song of Solomon 4:7. You are altogether beautiful, my beloved. There is no blemish in you. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. I don't know. Yeah, I think I did. I got rid of him. I'm streaming from California or live streaming on YouTube. I'm not a streamer. Thank you, Danny. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Love never fails. Amen. And I live by that. I feel like if you're someone who really loves people, like for real, that's why sometimes I'll be having to tell my mom, I'll be like, girl, I don't know how things just be working out. And then recently I thought about it. I was like, you know what? It's because I genuinely be having an intention to love people. That's it. That's really the only thing that I bring to the table, y'all. It's nothing crazy. I don't do no backflips, no tricks, no nothing. It's just when I say I really wanted this to work out, I really wanted to show up for you, I was hoping that this, connection was going to last and like be healthy or whatever. I genuinely mean that. That was genuinely my intentions. That's it. It's not, I promise you. That's all that I can give the girls. So, and I feel like love is infectious too. Like in high school, me and my friends would be like, love you. And we would mean it to this day. Like we'll see each other, like post updates and stuff on social media because we're in completely different states and cities and stuff now. And we'll be like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard from you in X amount of time. Love you, girl. Check in with me. This is my new number. Literally. Like the love just does not go away. It doesn't dwindle down. It's still there. That's how powerful love is. That's why, like, I don't really care. If you're a hater, that really sucks for you because my life is really like filled with love. But you gotta take the good with the bad. It's not always gonna be raindrops and, not even raindrops. What's the rainbows and sunshine? It's not always gonna be that. So I've come to terms with that. But there are even some things that I see and I'll laugh at it. Like when people talk about my forehead or whatever, I'm like, okay, so what? Where do you think all the thoughts are gonna go? But I can genuinely have that stance because like, not even just outside of this, because I also receive love here, which is a blessing in itself. And people always like say in the comments, like, girl, I could really feel that you're a cool person. Like all jokes aside, I could feel that you're genuine. I could feel that you're warm, and y'all are not lying. My life also aligns with that. The people in my life will say the same thing. So, I mean, look, if you are a hater, I don't really know what to tell you, Pookie. Like, my life is too filled with love to even trip at this point. It is what it is. I'm gonna charge it to the game. That's where I'm at with it. And love never fails. You can't, you know what? I'm streaming from YouTube. Oh, thank you to everyone who liked the live, by the way. Let me catch up. Why is it when people say then everything else gets more expensive? Oh, I don't know nothing about that, baby. I would love for you to do is show that book you just flashed like 10 minutes ago. It's listed in the description box as well. In the Lion's Den, Navigating Systems of Power. Green Eyes. All listed in the description box. My nails, I get the same thing every time. It's like a sheer kind of French vibe. The nail ladies that I be going to now, they eat down. They really do. And I just be having them cook up different colors or whatever. Because I used to just always get French. And I still do, because this is still very much so French. But like, you know, the typical like nude base, sheer base or whatever. And then you get like the white French. But as of late, I'm like, you know what? I want it to be a little bit softer. And she ate on the pedicure too. She ate down. They ate down. I love them bad. And I used to get square, but I've been really feeling this shape. I actually like it to be a little bit like more pronounced, the shape, but this is like more soft and muted. I think everything that we did this time around was just more soft. The shape was softer. The colors are softer. So yeah. Thank you, Scarlett. You speak truth to power. I've definitely been trying to come to terms with the fact that someone hopped on my motion to build a successful business. Yeah. And you have to anticipate that. Some people, they see where you're going and they want a piece of the pie. Thank you, MJ. I appreciate that. Yeah, some people see where you're headed. And even the context of being used, do I really want to go here with it? In order for you to also advance to the next level, you have to understand that you're going to be used. It's just you have to learn how to negotiate barter systems. I've alluded to this a little bit, but from a different perspective on like videos where I talked about social climbing, the dangers of social climbing. But more so when you're trying to align yourself with someone who is already successful. And if you're interested in coming into their network or getting some kind of opportunity from them, okay, you left your parasitic community, whether it be a friend group or people in your hometown, whatever. But you have to make sure that you're not approaching these people who have already become accomplished and already achieved certain things for themselves. You have to make sure that you're not becoming the parasite now and you're not approaching them with a parasitic, tendency. Oh, thank you. Someone just gave me a donation. Thank you. Who was that? Super J Weezy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying to, let me see. There we go. Thank you. I appreciate the donation. Yes, and all of the details to the books that I talk about are listed in the description box. But yeah, when it comes to getting to the next level, that's why I'm always raising my eyebrow if anyone is talking about, oh, advancing, achieving, and things like that, but their scope is limited. They don't have any desire to expand on a team. They want to take the credit for everything. They want to do everything. I'm like, I don't know. In a minute, you might have to wrap these elevation speeches up because you're not speaking from a real place. In order for you to elevate, eventually you're going to need a team. You know that, right? In order for you to elevate and for you to really gain some kind of traction in your respective region, people are going to want to use you. Even people who are on the up and up, they want to use you in some way to benefit their team. But it's going to be, if they're on the up and up, of course, and if they're going to do good business, it's going to be through a barter system. We want you to share your expertise here in exchange for what we have to offer. So being used actually comes with the territory, even when it comes to elevating. The difference is you have to discern people who are using you because they're trying to impoverish you versus people who are using you because they want to initiate some kind of barter system with you. I see you can add value here because I'm lacking in this area, but I can compensate in this area because I'm abundant here. And I could provide you with this kind of resource. I agree, Super J Weezy. You can't get something for nothing. In fact, actually, someone, y'all, I cannot wait. I cannot wait until this season of my life is wrapped up so I can share my testimony because it's been crazy. It's been a beautiful run, but it has been supernatural, all miraculous, all credit, all thanks to God. But there was someone who I was telling them about a hardship that I was going through, and I was like, I'm just trying to piece it together. And they were like, okay, I'm willing to do X, Y, and Z. And I said, nah. I said, I'm not stable enough in this area yet. I'm just now getting my footing in this particular lane. I said, instead, what I would feel more comfortable doing, because I don't want to be in a position to where I can't hold up my end of the bargain. In order for me to fulfill that in this particular way, I would need to bring someone aboard, and I haven't vetted this person yet. I said, instead, what I can do is I can go into business with you. So you don't have to grant me anything free of charge. I would do business with you to where I'm working under your umbrella and you can gauge my efficacy off of my work ethic. And then from that moment on, I ended up sealing a business partnership deal. And the person just kept sending me, hey, I want you to now get on this. I want you to manage this. I want you to do this. So when you show people who already have it, they already have the resources that you're willing to help yourself, and you're not looking for handouts. You understand how barter systems work. I'm willing to work with you. You don't have to give me a handout. I'm willing to work with you. I'm willing to meet you halfway. Opportunities will start unraveling for you. That's why I'm always like, man, what do people be getting up here talking about? What do you can't show up to nobody with no barter. You don't have a barter system at hand. You sound crazy. And people will sit up here and be like, oh, you acting different. You acting high sedity. Don't forget where you came from. No, sweetie, you are coming incorrect. You have to have a barter system. Bargain. What can this person get in exchange from you being brought to their team? But I don't know. Maybe it's a business mindset thing. Because for me, I never approach anything empty-handed. What? Even if the person is like, you know what? Just the fact that you had this pitch ready, you had this idea, I'm gonna go ahead and show you love just off the rip. In fact, the person who ended up creating a business opportunity with me, just created it, a partnership. What he told me is he was like, you know what? You remind me a lot of myself when I was younger. He was like, you're a hustler. You're a go-getter. I like it. Let's do business. I said, okay. I said, okay, I'm rocking with that. But it's true. It's true. Thank you, Sandra. That I'm a hustler. He was right. He picked up on that. That's what's true, Shaylee. We was like, you know what? I like you. You're a hustler. And he said, I see that you're serious. And I see that you want to make something happen. I said, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. Let's go into business. I don't need a handout from you. Let's go into business. Let's barter. You got to be serious, though. You got to want it. And that man took me through a test. That's the irony. And I didn't even trip on it. I was like, you know what? I'm not even mad at it. I'm trying to get my footing. I'm trying to learn this lane. And we ended up meeting up again. And he pulled me to the side. He took me through a series of tests. And I was like, what is going on? Then I realized he was just trying to see how serious I was about it. Everything is I'm telling you, everything is a test. Even if it's not from other people, even though I genuinely do believe this man took me through a test. But I believe that God will give you tests too, just to see how you deal with it. How do you manage it? What are you going to do with it? Someone said, didn't expect to be in the presence of a queen. You are gorgeous. OMG. Thank you. Sal? What kind of business you're into? I can't disclose the kind of business that we just hopped into, but I'm super excited for that. I cannot believe that I ended up in that lane. But right now, it's a publishing business that I'm focusing on. So it's a publishing umbrella. And you can consider this content creation, I guess, a business too. Most people do when they do this full time, but I don't do this full time. But the main business that I'm focusing on right now is my publishing business, and I just now ventured into another business endeavor that it's so funny because it came back around to me full circle, but I can't disclose it yet because it's still new. And honestly, with this venture, I don't know if I would ever disclose this to y'all because it's not relative to the work that I do on here. Maybe like an example. I might give examples in other videos once we get the wheels in motion. Someone said, can you go make me a sandwich right now, women? When I'm talking about business and you making that demand like you know me or something, it's crazy. I don't know you. Once again, people will only help who help themselves. Can you go make yourself a sandwich? Not reading the room, we see. Go make me a sandwich, woman. If you're hungry, you hear your stomach rumbling. I'm on a completely different side of the screen. Go help yourself. Your stomach is touching the back of your rib cage. And you want me to jump through the screen and fix that? You gotta be serious about your life. You gotta take accountability. You knew it was getting late and you sat up here and you decided to troll in people's comments rather than getting your life in order and fixing dinner. You gotta be serious. You have to be serious. Because once again, you're signaling to people you're not serious about your life. I'm gonna do a tutorial, babes, on my makeup routine because it's the same routine each and every time. It's gonna be on my beauty channel, Miss Read the Room too. And all of that is linked in the description box of this live as well. Can you do something with products for your nails, hair, skin? I will. Personal accountability, that's right. That's right. Someone said, same person, by the way, isn't there something you have to clean? Wrong chat, my bad, mama. That's right. You saw the way that sandwich comment took a sharp turn for the left. You saw that. I'm glad you read the room. Now, unfortunately for you, I still got to do that Rico Suite. You still got to go. But I'm glad that you see how you wrote that in. I could respect that, but I got to respect it from a whole other platform now because you're not going to be here anymore. Girl, what foundation are you using? Your makeup looks amazing. Thank you. I mixed it. I actually mixed 2 different foundations. I'm going to share a tutorial. Go subscribe to my beauty YouTube channel. And it's just I'm going to just post it. I'm not going to make an announcement because everyone keeps talking to me about it. I'm gonna just drop it. So make sure that y'all go there, y'all subscribe, y'all turn the notification on. And that's when you're gonna find out what products that I use for my skincare routine as well as my makeup routine. I got y'all, it's coming. That's true, God will give it to you, that's right. That's true. Shifting perspective is important. I did get things from the partnership, but when money started coming in, he only offered me 20%, which is diabolical. I'm the one with more clout and experience, and see, people are really getting out of line around here, not having proper barter systems in place. If someone is bringing something of value to the table and they have more skin in the game, you got to conduct yourself accordingly. You can't just be over here backstabbing them. People, I hate to say it, some people are genuinely delulu. That's why I was getting a little scared when I was seeing that social climbing content. I was like, wait a minute, y'all. Wait. It's like, wait. I don't want them people having y'all go in there and y'all fail, because then people start looking at you like, okay, what are we supposed to do with this information? I also told some people when I had a live and we were talking a little bit about music in light of the music publishing administrative service that was recently launched on the website. It's in the chat too, and it's going to be in the description box. But someone was like, what advice would you give someone who is a musician and they want to go to like a networking event? And I was like, from personal experience, I witnessed, for example, say there's someone who headlined a show that night, and seeing people bombard them, get close to them and try to take pictures and stuff like that. And the person starts going into detail as far as like, oh, support my X, Y, and Z. Here's the thing when it comes to barters and bargains. This is why it's so important to me, especially when we talk about business. And yes, you being a musician, you are your business, just so you know. The reason why barters and bargain systems are super important to me, and it's like my go-to business pitch when it comes to partnerships, deals, all of that good stuff, is because what a bargain and barter system is doing is it's giving the opposite party a choice. If someone feels like they don't have an option or a choice, it's automatically gonna make them feel like, I don't want any parts of this. So when you're coming up to someone and you're telling them, hey, I got X, Y, Z going on, you already took away their choice. You don't know if they don't want to do that. You don't know if they have time to look into that. You don't know anything about that person's schedule, what they're dealing with. You don't know. So the fact that you just came over and assumed that they were going to drop everything, like, we gotta, come on now. And I'm saying this with love. And I witnessed it. Like, people would have a smile on their face and like, oh yeah, I'll take a picture with you. And the person would go into a whole spiel about, oh, and by the way, I got X, Y, and Z going on. And then the smile would immediately drop. And sometimes people take it as that person being funny, and it's not. It's not necessarily that. It's an etiquette thing. That is this person's show. And if they're taking the time to take pictures with you, do photos with you or whatever, do videos, all of that good stuff, or briefly connect with someone who attended the event, and you take that time to go into detail about, well, I've been building X, Y, and Z and da-da-da, that isn't necessarily, you have to be careful with that. Because also, if they're doing this for like a brief little interaction, you're not the only person in line looking to take a picture or a video. And if they're on a time schedule, you just have to be considerate. So one thing that I'm really big on is barter systems and bargain systems, and they have to make sense. So if you are the brain behind the operation, such as Honey Gold Jasmine, and you're dealing with someone who is pretty much an add-on, right? It's an add-on partnership. Them propositioning a 20% split on the brain's behalf, the reason that the business is even up and running, and they take 80% is just diabolical. Once again, Delulu land. That's not the way that the bargain and barter system should have worked. Maybe it's a 50-50 split. If you're still not holding up your end of a bargain like that, then it really needs to start looking like 60-40 or 70-30. The brain is obviously getting the higher percentage each time. Or if it's a distributor, some people don't understand that with distributors, what they're doing is they're getting it out there. And they're marketing to an audience into platforms that you may not have access to. That's another reason why they may bargain for a higher percentage. So understand those breakdowns and make sure that you know what you're signing up for. So if you know you want to invest in the distribution, or if you know you want to invest with this particular partner because they have more access when it comes to networks, they have more reach, them taking a higher percentage. It should not be nothing crazy though. I don't think that that's reasonable. But say the percentage is like a 60-40 or 50-50. Do whatever feels most suitable for you, but in my opinion, I feel like that's not anything too crazy, especially if they're fronting most of the bill. So learn about percentages and learn about bargain systems and barters. I'm sorry, you guys. That was very lengthy. Let me catch up on some of the other comments. The beauty of it is once I left that situation, now I have a beautiful team that's growing. Totally agree. We pour into each other now. Yeah, like when people get up here and talk about, oh, in order to elevate and I said, okay, let's be honest. If you really want to elevate and get into that season of breakthrough or whatever, you have to expand. There is no way. And if you think that you can do everything to the T and catch every single detail without any help, I'm raising my eyebrow at you. I am under the impression to believe that you just like the idea and the perception of being someone who wears all of these different hats. But in order for you to run something effectively, you have to have a team. There's no way you can be everywhere at the same time. Come on now. Be so for real. There's no way. You do. You have to come with something. Come on now. There is no I in team, but there is an I in integrity, independence, and individuality. That's true. That's the personal things that you bring to the table. But once you start building upon partnerships, no, you can't have that mentality. Everybody got to walk away with something. It's got to be a barter. So, exactly, 60-40 was the only reasonable split. Yeah, that's standard. 60-40. In a lot of cases, it can be negotiated 50-50, but for the most part, if the person is fronting most of the bill, if they're giving you access to like a network or whatever, they're taking on most of the marketing responsibilities, then 60-40 is reasonable. But he refused to negotiate because he already had the sauce. I messed up and I'm taking accountability for sure. You know what? I'm not even mad at that. And that's the essence of this live. 80-70, 51-50 Santana, what's 80-70 split? What scale of measurement is that? But you know what? That is the essence of this live though. Is we're learning as we go. And it's all right. Sometimes we make a misstep. But the fact that you acknowledge that, you're already on the up and up. Oh, wow. I see them orders coming in, you guys, for the grant writing webinar tomorrow. Don't worry. Before the night's over, some of you all may be on Eastern Standard Time, though, or in different time zones. It's going to be sent right after I get off this live, all the details. It's just my hands are tied right now. But, yeah. Successful execs always know how to delegate, literally. I mean, shoot. I'm not making this stuff up, y'all. Listen to the people in the comments. Yeah. And one of the main things that you have to look out for, this is why I'm also like, don't get too caught up in clout when people leave with that. That means that they don't know what they're talking about. When clout is all that they bring to the table. Pay attention to, do they have reasonable negotiations and breakdowns? Are them percentages percentaging? 80 or 70. Okay, there we go. 80 or 70 for what? That's a high percentage. What are you guys talking about? Hi, Tanika. What's the 80 or 70 split? Who's taking that percentage, y'all? Give me context. I'm not liking that number. The other person, you saying they getting 80 or 70? It's about the barter system. This is what Melvin was trying to teach. This is what Melvin was trying to teach Jody, huh? What? Who was that? I wouldn't be surprised whoever it is. You know, some people you gotta break it down to them. Like Johnny had 2 apples. If he ate one, how many? You know, you gotta pull out the the pictures and graphics for people because sometimes they're not good listeners. They're visual learners. You know, but I mean, yeah, but it's sad. Some people genuinely don't get it. They'll just sit there and be like, but I got more clout than you. And it's like, yeah, but you don't have the brains though. The math is still not math, and get them percentages right. them percentages, them percentages look scary. Oh, baby boy. Wait. Oh, Melvin was the mom's boyfriend, right? I haven't watched Baby Boy in years. Baby boy, I can't say that word. And butter. That scene was a very teachable moment. Yeah, some people just, I mean, golly. You feel like you're talking to a brick wall. You know what? That's why some people just got to let you go. Because when it's not making sense to you, or some people will just abort mission. Because really, when you keep explaining the same thing over and over and it doesn't click, you will really sink the ship. For an edit. What's the edit, babe? Hello, welcome to the live. I have a question. What's your question? How do you keep a straight face? These comments are nuts. I mean, sometimes I don't even catch it. And honestly, you guys, my brain, I don't know what happens. It's like I dissociate from foolishness. I immediately just scroll to the next thing. I'm like, up, block, and then just keep scrolling like I just didn't see it. It does not retain in my brain. Thank you, Kalina. I appreciate that. Fix your wig is crazy when I'm not wearing one. And even if I was wearing one, it would more than likely be talked about on my beauty channel, by the way. Miss Read the Room too. Make sure you go subscribe if you are interested in looking at different wigs. 50-60 is recommended. 50-50 or 60-40. Yeah, that's the standard. That's the standard when it comes to negotiations, like partnerships. 80-20. Only time that I've heard that crazy percentage was when I did a video talking about ownership being a form of your protection. And I referenced someone who said that they ended up in a partnership, a deal where it was an 80-20 split. But they were the muscle. They were the person who was actually like going out there and getting the work done. But when it all came down to royalty assessments, they left with 20% of it. But it was their labor. But the person who was like, oh, well, we orchestrated X, Y, and Z, they walked away with 80%. I said, whoa. Now, it's a little tricky if we get into the details of it because depending on the lane that you're in, this is why when I talk about ownership on my platform and things like that, it's going to be for a select group of people. And I've already made peace with that. Over a year ago, I was putting out content talking about quality versus quantity, knowing your niche, all of that good stuff. I'm sorry, you guys, the button is kind of like opening a little bit. But I'm already at peace with the fact that there's a specific audience that's going to be led to my platform. And when you're a builder, you're not necessarily going to, your race is going to look different. Very similar to the tortoise versus the hare. Your race is going to look really different because you're focused on building on stable foundation. Not necessarily the clout, not necessarily the instant gratification of getting an applause because it looks like you're moving fast. So you have to make peace with that and not get distracted. But depending on what's most important for you or most important to you in a particular season, if clout is more important to you and someone is saying, I have access to the clout, but in order for me to get you out there in a way to where your name is buzzing all over and millions of people know you, and I'm putting that push, I'm giving you that push, we're gonna have to invest X, Y, and Z into you. And you're not in a state right now to where you're able to recoup those costs. That's how a lot of people get caught up in that sticky percentage deal. Because their argument is, well, if we really were to give you a breakdown of how much it took for us to get you out there and to get your name buzzing, you wouldn't even be able to afford this right now in this season. You wouldn't even be able to afford this if there were 10,000 of you doing the work and putting it, you wouldn't be able to afford it. You just wouldn't. So if that's what's important to you right now is the clout, then be prepared for the percentages. 80, 20, 90, 10, 100, 0. Be prepared for that. Now, if you're someone who's serious about building, long-term building, and you actually want to reap the fruits of your labor, clout shouldn't be your focus. Moving quickly shouldn't be your focus. So you even have to be a good steward of what you pay attention to. You have to make sure you're not comparing yourself to the wrong things, because your process is going to look completely different. Your journey is going to look completely different. So count the cost. That's the best way that I can put it. Count the cost of whatever it is that you're prioritizing. If clout is more important to you, then be prepared for the consequences that come with it. Because a lot of the time that cash ain't going to be looking right. Now, some people get caught up in compromising positions because they didn't know any better. Someone finessed their way into their camp, sold them a pipe dream, lied, and then now they're dealing with the repercussions of it. That's different. That's when you were surrounded by sharks and no one was looking out for you. But for the people who make a conscious decision, well, clout is more important for me right now. So I don't mind someone pushing me and putting, the machine behind me to get that clout. That's when they're going to start to tell you, okay, well, it's going to cost X, Y, and Z in order to get you out there. So in order for us to recoup some of those costs, this is the percentage breakdown. That's going to be their argument. And I'm just telling people, I'm being real about it. But for the people who are interested in ownership and you're not too focused on the clout, you have the mentality of, look, I'm interested in building a stable community that will actually be buy-in. Right? It's a fair exchange. I'm consistently putting things out there that they want, and they're consistently willing to take it in. They're listening, they're engaging, etc. Your focus shouldn't be on the hare. Your race is more so in alignment with the tortoise. Slow and steady wins the race. And making sure that your business affairs are in order to where you're consistently winning is what's most important. Liviana, no, I will not be doing anything regarding like hair and makeup on this channel. It's going to be on my beauty channel, Miss Read the Room 2, which is already live. So make sure that you subscribe to that. Rubio, what? Who's Rubio 28? Oh, was that the person that I just blocked? Amen. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only son. I was going to read the other translation of it. That whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. Amen. John 3:16. Yeah, personal accountability. Someone said, I'm going to send you $10,000. You don't have to gonna do it, just do it. You can access the PayPal link below utilizing the coaching link. Just go there and the PayPal link will be there. Okay. Someone said, let me get $5. I'm weak. To the person who said they were going to donate 10,000, we're going to see. We're going to see. They're a person of their word. Social climb like crazy, but on another note, I'm gonna check out the music publishing services. Yeah, I'm super excited for that, Honey Gold Jasmine. I've rubbed shoulders with a lot of musicians. I've heard a lot of crazy stories about musicians. you know, and I was like, how can I even bridge this gap? Because I don't know why. Like, child, I don't know what I'd be doing out here. I told y'all about the story about the attorney who let me listen to his favorite Irish band on the airplane. I just be doing stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm cool though. Like, I'm really cool. I'm funny. So I just be having random connections that kind of like fall into my lap. And I was like, dang, I don't have anything for musicians and I feel so bad as someone who's super solution oriented. But then I thought about, wait a minute, you're big on publishing. Musicians, they also know about publishing, or if they don't, publishing is also under the music umbrella. And that's actually a way for them to generate streams of income for themselves. So I was able to bridge that gap and provide a publishing administrative service exclusively for my musicians, because I am big on people having their business affairs in order, because it's jacked up out here. That's why I said the quicker you take accountability for your life, the better. Because people are going to show you no mercy. Have you ever studied criminal justice? I haven't. Do I give that? I don't understand that question or that statement. I don't even know who that is. So I don't know. Next. Let me see. What is the best convention to network at? I can't speak on that because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't really go to conventions to network. Only time that I would go to a convention is if someone wanted me to like work there. I'm willing to do work there. If someone assigned me to do something or to, you know, maybe conduct a session or whatever, I don't know, become a keynote speaker, I would do that. But most of my networking was kind of like grassroots, I can't lie. Foot to pavement with it. It wasn't at a networking event. Shout out to Scotland. Hi, Norma. Someone put a ring in the chat. All right. You're so beautiful. Thank you. LOL, I was doing all the hosting, promotion, social media creation. See, that's diabolical. Clout was literally just a bonus for me because I'm known locally and my events go viral and I'm a grant writer for my day job. Well, those are a lot of valuable attributes to bring to the table. What you said that you have expertise in marketing, promotion, social media creation. Yeah, and that kind of split is diabolical. You know, some people, I hate to say it, they approach partnerships like a pimp. And you got to make sure you don't get pimped out. Okay? It's real out here. You got to be on it. No, I'm not an AI agent. I'm trying to be the tortoise also. I'm not an AI agent. You gotta go because you trolling out. You look stunning today. Thank you. I'm glad that I got it right today. I'm trying to be the machine. We're talking about business. It's a very serious conversation. We're talking about barter systems, business, percentage breakdowns. I can afford it. Let me take you shopping tomorrow. Welcome, Vanessa. Happy to have you in the reader community. Misread the room, aka Miss Shameless Plug, because she's going to promote it. I mean, look, I don't know what to tell you people. I got the resources out here. I'm creating the opportunities. The difference is, though, whatever I plug helps. The reviews speak for itself. Okay? I'm not just going to sit up here and talk you guys' ears off all day and not create solutions to problems. Are you crazy? No. Walk away with professional networks, cut through the red tape, figure out about funding, grants, so you can get your businesses up and running. Learn the publishing game if you're a musician, so people won't be giving you crazy percentage splittages. Yes, I did make up a word because I wanted it to rhyme. But for real, so people won't proposition crazy percentage splits with you. You know, you're coming into it doing all of the labor, and they're not fronting any bill. They talk a good game with no results. I told you guys that in an older video that I posted. People who talk in circles, but they don't have anything to back it up. Anything that I talk about, I post real reviews on people being like, this actually helped me, thank you. No, this worked. I followed the steps X, Y, and Z. Anything that I talk about, I back it up. Why? Because I'm serious about my business. I'm serious about what I'm talking about. I don't have to hide anything. And I know that what I'm speaking on, it's not based on theory. These are hard knock life experiences that I had to learn. I told y'all, I'm not exempt from being put through certain tests. I just secured a business partnership simply because I let this person take me through a series of tests. Are you serious? Do you really want to do business? Are you going to hold up your end of the bargain? Then that's when he was like, you know what? I'm rocking with you. Let's work. That man Ben had all the resources in the relationships. He was just trying to see, are you for real? Are you really about something? And I couldn't take it personal. I couldn't throw a fit. I still showed up. I still was like, hey, look, is we rocking or not? I told you the real. I told you that I'm willing to learn, though. I'm just now establishing myself in this lane, but I'm willing to learn and I'm willing to work with you. You rocking with it or not? And he was like, you know what? I am. You remind me a lot of myself. You're a hustler and you're willing to work. I like that. Let's do business. And let me manage the whole thing. I said, oh, shoot, I didn't know he was going to bump me up to a manager position. This is this man's business. So, I mean, look, I don't got to pump fake with y'all. You want to take your life serious or not? Because I'm coming with solutions all day. No, I'm not going to sit here and talk in circles all day with y'all. Y'all tell me a problem. I keep losing my job because this person set me up, or my boss told me that they were going to do this and they lied to me. They never gave me a promotion. Okay, we'll start a business. You can't keep playing with your livelihood like that. Don't keep putting your fate in the next person's hands when it comes to your livelihood. Start a business. I'll connect you with the grant writer right now. Attend this webinar, learn about different grants so you can cut through the red tape. Because a lot of the time when you go to these networking events, people are going to talk in circles. They're not going to plug you to resources. They're not going to give you their business card and actually follow up when you reach out to them. So please, if you're serious, come over here. If you're serious about solutions and getting things in motion, come over here. Shout out to Texas. That was literally my exact situation. My labor, my brain seed, diabolical. I cannot believe that this person propositioned you with that percentage split. I cannot. But he wanted 80%. It was an events business. Oh, okay. I have won grants and all from the city of Oakland from my events and music. But see, people on here telling me not to plug a grant writing webinar when that's how most people are going to start the child anyway. So, Queen, where did you meet him from? Where did he pop up from? What abyss did this man pop up from? I'm wearing makeup. I love to write. I'm just trying to figure out how or what to write about. Could you consider to guide me? Yes, there's actually a ghostwriting service on the Period Publishing Services website as well. So if you have a concept, we can also help you with actually writing the book. This is also big for people who don't have time. Like if you know you want to write a book, or some people are really good at conversations. For example, say you're interested in doing a memoir and you're like, I can recall the events like in a conversation, but I can't put it like pen to paper with it. There are ghostwriting services available. This is weird. It's like, you know me, because my bosses do be setting me up. I might come over to, what? No, it's not. Y'all, please. No, it's not that. It's not that. I'm not gonna lock you down. I want you to be free, and I want you to get connected to the right resources and the right networks to where you're able to operate in not just professional freedom, but financial freedom. That's another reason why me talking to people about get your publishing royalties in order as a musician. Start a business, even if it's on a minor scale, always have something of your own. Because I want you to be as free as possible, because the audacity, a lot of these malicious mentors who are being disguised as bosses and supervisors, not only will they shortchange you, but they will also monopolize your time, knowing that they're shortchanging you. And the reason being that you activating your potential, it's going to require devotion. It's going to require time. That's why a toxic boss, especially if you're a social media person, and sometimes you will block a person, but if you go viral, you can't help when God gives you that spark on social media. And a person from a job, a boss, a supervisor, a colleague will see you pop up on their For You page and start plotting. So it could take away the time that you have, like the little bit of time that you have to pour into your platform, your social media platforms. Now they're going to start booking you for busy work. And that's all calculated. Because they don't have motion outside of that. They're bogged down to that. They're limited to that and that only. But you're occupying multiple different lanes. So I'm always encouraging people, have something to fall back on, because when people feel like they got you where they want you and they have malice in their heart regarding you, they're going to pull that rug from underneath your feet. They'll put you in a position with the intentions of setting you up to fail. Both of those are excerpts in the book, Green Eyes, by the way. So I want you guys to get put onto the right resources, the right information, and the right connections so you can start to activate that freedom. Oh, understood. We were both volunteering at the same nonprofit. I was hosting their events and they were paying me to write grants. Ooh. Were you an independent contractor? Or they had you under their umbrella as a staff member? I cannot believe this. That is crazy. I'm working on my memoir right now. Good. Well, have them ghostwrite me some pickup lines because you're fine wine. You know, when I say ghostwriting, I mean like an actual publication, a full body of work, not necessarily pickup lines. Jesus is King. Amen. Hi, Ava. Tomorrow, you know what? We might have that discussion in the webinar, because that is a real thing. And I think we briefly talked about it on July 10th session, how there are certain barriers in place for certain people. So you also have to learn how to maneuver around that and be strategic around the community that you build. Because sometimes you have to create your own ecosystem. with people who are in the same boat as yourself. You know, I don't know what that means. Thank you, Zara. That's a beautiful name. I love that name. Nice forehead, thank you. Yup, I was an independent contractor, yeah. Okay, Typically with nonprofits though, if you're a staff member, they get a little bit more, they get more free reign to kind of like, I hate to say it, but financially exploit you. As an independent contractor though, because you're a free agent, most nonprofit leaders, they know better than to play with an independent contractor because you can cut ties more easily. I would encourage you to keep doing independent contractor work, just moving forward, make sure that those percentages make sense. And you know what, Queen? If it makes more sense for you to market that you will complete grant writing services and you will also do marketing, like social media marketing, promotion, and things like that on their behalf, draft a contractual agreement where there's already a higher percentage or you up your price tag. But if you want to avoid some of those pitfalls, try to market for 2 different agencies. Do one where you grant write. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket is what I'm alluding to, excuse me. Diversify so that people don't play with you. Do one agency where you strictly do grant writing and then do another agency where you strictly do social media promotion. And don't base it off a percentage, just do a pay cut. This is my pay rate, this is my commission rate, etc. Do it like that. Because honestly, nonprofit, if I'm going to take it there as someone with a background in nonprofit, they shouldn't have even been talking to you about percentages anyway. That should have been a pay per hour kind of thing. Hello, Ezekiel. Thank you. God bless. God bless you. Dwayne up here talking about shut up when we having a whole discussion and we answering people's questions. But come on now, read the room. Ezekiel said I got bracelets on. I love that, period. Okay, CEO. Period, Anaya. Okay. Up the price tag is wild. Everything already too high. Gas is too high. And that's why she needs to up that price tag. You thinking too small, we need you to be thinking big. Especially if you asking for crazy percentages. You must got it like that. The way that you're taking advantage of people with that 80-20 split. You bringing in enough apparently with that percentage rate. She could up the price. Like I said, you know, we got to stop being delulu. We got to start being realistic. If you taking that much of a cut from people's paychecks, 80-20 split, you to 80, you can afford to bring a person on board and front that bill because you pocketed. You had a great year last year. You done brought 10 different independent contractors on and you took 80% of all of their earnings. You had a phenomenal year. From the looks of it, if we were to do an audit, they can up that price. Hourly. Do hourly, independent contractors. Do not do percentage splits as an independent contractor because you're not even invested in the company enough. If I'm going to be honest, percentages more so align with royalties and investors. People who are investing or have some kind of share in the company. That's where percentages make more sense. If you're an independent contractor, that should be hourly rates. Thank you. Only time percentages make sense is like administrative and things like that. But since you're someone who's actually working, like you're completing tasks on their behalf, I wouldn't do percentages because it's too sticky. That's where they'll take advantage of you. Only administrative work, I would say you can do percentages then. Oh, you're in Texas? Shout out to Texas. You gotta go. You gotta go. Right, that's why I stayed in independent contractor. Yeah, whenever I do my writing, I get paid up front. I got paid per hour, good. The events, I'm trying to figure out how to collab / barter. You can also do hourly rates for events. Will you be there at the event? You can do hourly rates for events. As long as you're there and you're like, making sure that everything's in order. You're making sure that other team members are coming in. You're directing people to different, departments or sections of the event, whatever. You can do hourly. Or you can just do a price tag. How long that they need you to be at the event for, and whatever your hourly rate is, let that be known, and then you break it down to them. Percentage, I don't know, Queen. Percentage isn't making sense to me. Percentage cuts as a promotion person or a marketing specialist, and then doing grant writing. Shouldn't no one be finessing you? No one should be finessing you into a 20-80 percentage split. Get your money up front. Percentage splits are only, in my opinion, that only makes sense if it's an administrative role. And if it's going to be a long-standing partnership. But once again, typically that falls under like an administrative umbrella, even if it's a long-standing partnership. And percentages also make sense to me if you're an investor or you're a shareholder in the company. Royalties too, but royalties is a separate conversation. That's mainly like under the publishing umbrella, or like for musicians and stuff like that. That's the only time that percentage makes sense. I'm weak. How to get women loyal? I don't I don't know. You might have to just choose different. Hourly ties you to a per hour schedule. It's better to have a fixed price per service provided. Don't punish yourself for working quickly. I don't agree with that. Because if the person has you going over for 3 or 4 hours, because that can happen when you're live in motion. Oh, well, we're going to stay over, or we decided that we're going to bring this other person, especially if she's doing like promotional events, especially people will pull a fast one. They'll be like, oh, this person decided to come last minute and she's not getting paid because she gave a set price at the beginning. And they're like, oh, well, we already agreed that we're only giving you this much. So be careful with that. There's a lot of red tape. What if the work includes the use of one's likeness for a model? Would percentages matter then? Yes, it would. And if they're using your likeness, it can get a little tricky, because sometimes what they will do is they will pay you like an advance, but you could receive, for example, royalty payments every time that they use that particular model. So you could have put a cap limit on 10, 15, 20 years of royalties that you could have accumulated if you negotiated maybe a smaller advance, but as long as you get continuous payment on them using that model and promoting it. Does that make sense? So once again, play the long game when it comes to percentages and numbers. Negotiate for a higher percentage since they're using your likeness, and if they try to offer you an advance, to cut down on the percentage, or to say, oh, well, you can't get future payments if we decide to use this later on down the line. We'll only give you a payment one time and then that's it. Don't take that deal. Let them know, well, I'm willing to not have the advance, but instead receive continuous royalties off of however many times you choose to utilize this model, because it's based off of my likeness. You can keep the advance. I want the consistent payments. Every time you use my likeness, I want a payment for it. negotiate it like that. And if they're not willing to work with you, then they don't get to use your likeness. Someone said, my queen. Besides money, what do girls want? Oh my gosh, you think that all women only want money? Oh my gosh. It depends on the woman, if I'm gonna be honest. So maybe you've encountered a lot of women who are like, look, nah, I'm not talking to you unless you have money. So I don't know, maybe you might need to explore, align yourself with someone who isn't leading with that. Just put yourself out there. I'll go over 3 or 4 hours free. No. If that's a one-time thing, okay. But no. Or if there was some kind of issue, like a tech issue or something, that's different, right? Like say the equipment or whatever was down, so no one was working until you guys were able to get the equipment up and running. That's different. But extra labor and they're adding on additional tasks, no. Hi, everyone who's asking me to say hi. Hi, Aria. Hi, Haley. Photography and painters. Hey, I'm trying to learn how to articulate myself more. You are very good at articulating yourself, and I would appreciate if you have any tips for improving. Oh my gosh, thank you. I appreciate that you guys make those kind of comments. You know, if you struggle with finding wording, then just give yourself time, pause before you speak, and read more. Growing up, my dad used to make us read out of encyclopedias, which is real old school, y'all. Encyclopedias, yeah, filled in the house. I used to have to go to libraries. So sometimes articulation comes through you expanding your own vocabulary and exposing yourself to like different languages and all of that. So don't be afraid to learn. Research different words, Google different words. And also, in order to really get better at articulating, you just have to speak more. That's the funny part. You know, if you're starting off and you're stumbling over your words a little bit, that's completely normal, especially if you're someone who's more reserved and quiet. So another thing is practice. Even if it's small, start with like one friend or talk, you know, speak in a recording and just practice. Practice, practice, practice. Someone said your forehead got its own zip code. It do. It do. You still blocked though. Oh, someone already said that. Super J Wheezy. Reading helps, and also finding a word of the day site that may help you out. Yeah, and it's true. Really, just expand your vocabulary. You know what, girl? I can't do your nails. You have honor. Thank you. I can't do your nails, Abby. You're going to have to find somebody. Find a nail tech, your local nail tech, baby. Thank you. Literacy are the keys. Facts. It's true. Thank you. I also love your videos. I'm happy to have you in the community, babes. I'm glad you enjoy the videos. I think you are good in your heart. Amen to that. You guys, the makeup is here to stay. People be like, I wonder what you, why do you have on makeup? Because I like it. I like it. Curating your algorithm for higher learning helps too. Ooh, that's a good one, Ale. That's a really good one. Be mindful about what you're consuming. So I listen to a lot of informational videos, even if it's like random topics, but if the person has done research on a particular topic, I'm big on that. So just always learn something new. Every month, dedicate time to learning something new. Just study it, research it. Thank you, Bunny Paws. I love that username too. Thank you. I did a different technique this time. I'm gonna show y'all on my beauty channel, Miss Free Room too. Like I said, just subscribe, put your notifications on because I'm gonna randomly just upload it. Do you have any book recommendations for teens by chance? Green Eyes. So you can identify who's in your circle, because teens are, unfortunately, that's the phase of your life where you can be easily influenced. Because for most people, developmentally, peer relationships are super important. So Green Eyes, learn the magnitude of your associations and be able to detect who is trying to sabotage you. Another book that I would encourage people to read, one of my personal favorites, my father gave this to me when I was in my late teens, The Art of War. The Alchemist. I read that when I was in high school. I was a teenager. Phenomenal book. And most important, that's number one. A crop top girl scammed me and stole my money. I'm a man. What's your opinion on that? You know, you said the crop top girl banned you. Did she say something about her crop top? And you were like, you know what? I like the way that sounds, so I'm going to give her my money. Because I can't do nothing about a decision you made for yourself. I can't do nothing about that. Once again, accountability. Accountability is what keeps us, in line. What were you trying to see with the crop top? That's what you wanted to see, and she got you. So just take it as a lesson learned and do better next time, okay? Baby, I don't know nothing about that. Yes, The Art of War. The more you read, the better you talk. Your forehead is not big. I love it. You know what? Thank you. I like my forehead too. That's where all of my thoughts go. And I love the Taraji P. Henson eyes too. And you can add additional tasks too. What? You know what? Shout out to Taraji. I don't got nothing bad to say about it. My family hates me and I'm crying right now. Please give me positive energy. You know what? It's okay to detach. No matter the title that they hold, sometimes you got to start your own family. So cry, go through the motions because it is hurtful, but it's okay for you to separate if something isn't healthy for you. Hello, gorgeous. Hello. Why the freak are you so pretty? Thank you, Rosie Saturn. I appreciate that. Thank you, Carter. You look pretty. Hello from Liverpool, United Kingdom. Shout out to United Kingdom. You know what? When I was looking at my stats for publications, I realized that there was a lot of people in the UK. So shout out to the UK. Shout out to y'all. Thank you, Jocelyn. I'm only 11. I can't separate. Yeah, so you got to stick it out for 7 more years. 7 more years. Look, watch my videos free of charge and get this game. Learn how to emotionally and mentally detach. If you're 11, girl or sir, start utilizing extracurricular activities, because sometimes your bonus family is going to come from a fellow teammate, if you do sports, a fellow classmate or whatever. Start outsourcing early. Have you watched the movie Matilda? That's your assignment. Gianna, watch Matilda. Matilda utilized her ally, her teacher, and her best friend, and she made that thing work. Okay? Watch the videos and study the movie Matilda, honey. Get clever with them school connections. Vet people, because you're not too young to vet. Whoever is looking out for you, your teammates, your classmates. And start building your bonus family. So you have allies outside of your toxic family. Watch Matilda. I'm trying to learn English. Okay, do we have some people in the chat who are interested in like learning a different language? Because I could see what I could cook up for that, you know, as the librarian lady. I could see if we can get something for you guys who are interested in learning a different language. Ooh, my lash, hold on now. Literally, it's never too early to start learning how to emotionally regulate. It's never too early, especially if you're on my channel already, baby. You're ahead of the game. Holy, Matilda was my freaking childhood. I love that show as a bitty kid. Matilda was me. Just how she just was like, girl, I got places to be, bye. I remember one time I left my granny's house. I was real young because I was just tired of being cooped up by myself. And I just found out from my homegirl, my ginger queen, that's my girl. And she has beautiful freckles and everything. I love her down. I've been cool with her literally since, what grade was I in? Second grade. Me and her had a class together and she was describing where she lived. And at that young age, I was like, wait a minute, what does the street look like? Da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, dang, that sounds exactly like my granny's house. Like that sounds like it's on the same block as my granny's house. Come to find out, her dad was my grandmother's next door neighbor. And then her, because her mom and her dad got a divorce, but they lived in the same neighborhood. So her mom ended up moving across the street. So they had two different houses, but they lived in the same neighborhood for co-parenting purposes, right? Make it convenient for the kids. So, you know, their schedules and stuff won't be wonky. They can go to the same school because they're in the same neighborhood. So they're at the same school district, all of that good stuff. Very strategic when it came to their divorce. So I remember one time I got sick of being like cooped up in the house. My sister was older than me. My cousins were all older than me. That's why I was listening to Pretty Ricky and stuff when I was like in the third grade. Diabolical, I know. But mind you, Pretty Ricky has bangers. Good music is good music. But anyways, child, I got tired of my cousins and them leaving me up in the house and acting like I was too young and da-da-da-da. So I started walking. My granny would be asleep in the back room or whatever, and I would just walk across the street. I'd be like, I think my girl said she was going to be at her mama's house this weekend. I'll just walk across the street, girl, and go kick it at that lady's house. And I walked up to her, this girl with this long ponytail, where I had like little, the twists. We used to have twists like with the little barrettes at the bottom or whatever, and just smiling at her. And I said my homegirl's name. I'm not going to say her name on here. I said, is so-and-so here? And her mama, she also had ginger hair. She looked at me. She had it cut into a little bob, and she looked at me and was like, little girl, where are you coming from? I didn't introduce myself or nothing. I had business to handle. I said, is my girl here? And then she was, ironically enough, coming from like the kitchen area, and they were heading upstairs, and she saw me and she screamed my name and she said, come in, come in. And from that moment on, we were locked in. And my family, specifically my granny, she like literally would start utilizing them. Like if she had to go to work or whatever, she'd be like, hey, could you guys look out for my house and stuff? And then we just ended up just becoming a big old blended family. And from that moment on, I used to always joke, and I was like, I was the Black Matilda growing up. Girl, I had places to be. I couldn't be cooped up in that house. I had to go see about my people. And one day my granny caught me. She caught me walking across the street, and she just locked eyes with me. I locked eyes back with her. Because my cousins and stuff, because they were older, they were supposed to be watching us. But sometimes, girl, they were like, we finna go hang out with our friends. Bye. Just stay here so we won't get in trouble. And one day my granny came back and she saw me walking across the street. And I locked eyes with her at the stop sign. She locked eyes with me in her car. And I just kept walking. Oh my God. I just kept walking. I was like, bye, granny girl. I'll see you later. And, you know, I went home later on the day. My granny even let me play. She let me play. She was like, child, I don't know. And then I came back home. I walked back home, regularly scheduled program, or walked back to my granny's house. And she said, where did you go? I was like, oh, my homegirl. She lived across the street. And then they ended up becoming our extended family. I kid you not. So when I would go back to my parents' house, because a lot of the time we would stay at my granny's house over the summer for like summer programs and stuff like that. Because me, my siblings, and my cousins, we were all spread out. But if we all wanted to go to summer camp together, you know, just to look out for each other, you know, that's real Sacramento with it. We would stay all at my granny's house for the summer. So when I would have to like go back home to my parents and stuff, me and my siblings, my homegirl and her dad, they used to be calling my granny down. They'd be like, we need her here. The holidays is quickly approaching. I kid you not. I was the honorary ginger. I was. I loved them down. Like family for real. We were all locked in. And my granny would be blowing up my parents' phone like, you need to get her here now. Her dad is telling me she needs to be here in attendance. The holidays is coming up. And I would have my own little spot and everything. And I think that's another reason why I'm really like solution oriented and stuff like that. Because I just never have been that person to just sit up and wait for life to happen to me. I've always been really proactive. I don't know. Literally. You're so pretty in your makeup and teeth. What is green box? What is that? Oh, you the bridge. Literally, I'm the birthday and the bridge. Making family connections, yeah. We loved them down and they loved us too. Like I said, like her dad used to call because my grandma and her dad were next door neighbors. So he used to call and be like, it's been weeks. Where is she at? It's Christmas time. We have designated gifts. Like she has her literally, y'all. Like, that's why I said like my whole life is like so filled with love. So maybe that's another reason why hate doesn't really penetrate me. Because like I've been blessed. I really have. And I love people down. My girl was telling me about like, yeah, my house looks like this and stuff like that. I said, I'm gonna go find my sis. I gotta go find her. Her street is sounding real familiar. And I found her. I took a leap of faith. I was like, I think she said she's gonna be at this house this day. And I walked, knocked on the door, and I saw a beautiful woman. She was beautiful. She was tall. She had fair skin. She had freckles too. Her and her mom looked just alike, and she had her hair in a bob though. But she was also a ginger like my girl. And she looked at me, and I was like, where is she at? I know she in here. And by the grace of God, my girl was walking from the kitchen right upstairs, and we locked eyes, and she said, girl, come in. She was like, this is my girl. Come on, girl. Come inside. And we used to just play. We used to eat the little popsicles. They were called Otter Pops. I'm not sure if they still have that. We used to tear them Otter Pops up. We had a ball. And the rest was history. And then like I would go over to her dad's house a lot. And we would just play. We would mainly play like in the front. Once we found out that her dad and my grandmother were literally next door. It was a duplex. They were next door neighbors for real, for real. And we would just play out in the front and stuff. And then we'll go either like in my grandma's living room for like some snacks or something, come back outside and play, or we would go in her house for snacks and then come back outside and play. But her dad was like, you know, we have a schedule around here. Where is she at? It's been weeks. We have her little gift set aside. Where is she? So my parents, now it became a responsibility. Now they had to drive me back to my grandmother's house outside of like the summer season and summer programs, because her family was like, yeah, where's our additional family member? So yeah. Shout out to Sarah. Yes, I do. I go to church. That's awesome. What are you talking about? You know what? you gotta go because, you know, spreading lies, fairy tales, and fallacies in the chat is crazy. Sarah, I already gave you a shout out, babe. Lip combo, Crown Queen Cosmetics lip glaze in the shade number 6. Revolution Pout Bomb Plumping Lip Gloss in the shade Milky Sheer Hollow. Hello from South Africa. You should visit. I get a lot of people telling me they're from South Africa. Shout out to you guys. I really just want to go to Africa though, and I want it to be an extended stay. And people were just like, oh, like, I remember one of the lives that I did, they were like, oh, you should write a book about your experience in Africa. And I was like, no, if I go, it would definitely be me enjoying myself. I would, if I felt compelled to write about my experience reflecting on it, then I would. But when I go there, I would just enjoy myself. I wouldn't, only work that I would do is like probably a business partnership or something out there. But I would just bask in the community, the food, and just cherish the moments. I don't know what some of these comments mean. Someone said, really trying to get her to jump off the porch though. Watching Matilda is wild. Stay home, listen to your parents. Well, she's saying that her family is toxic. And I didn't tell her to jump off the porch. I told her, utilize other connections that actually pour into her if she feels like her family isn't doing so. And I don't want her, because she's young, I don't want her to go into context as far as what that may be, because I don't know if you are a predator. Since you ain't here trying to be funny and condescending, we don't know if you're a predator. So I'm not going to have her go into detail as far as the kind of stuff that her family is saying or doing. But what I'm telling her is if she outsources and if she finds allies outside of that, that's how she can actually get people to step in and help her if need be. So, you know, it's really important that we're not trying to be cute in the comments and we're really listening to people's concerns and taking it seriously. And we're giving sound advice and we're not just throwing out blanket terms, because the young woman clearly said that she's having issues at home. And I'm assuming you're not a mandated reporter here, right? So you can't help in that regard. So what I'm telling her is how to align herself with people who can help her because they have direct access to her, if need be. Okay? So you're gone. You're out of here. Welcome, Miriam. Someone said, hi, what are you talking about? Well, you know, you got a little bit of everything over the last couple of minutes. The real topic of discussion is accountability demolishes attacks. The moment you take accountability for your life, the moment you get back into the driver's seat of your own life, that's when things will start to turn around for your good. You look beautiful today. Thank you. Everyone's saying I look beautiful. Thank you, guys. You look so pretty and cool. Thank you. Working on high levels of decorum. I like that. Just for yourself or with other people. Decorum is very important. Life wisdom, what? Well, first and foremost, don't speak about yourself like that. Because people don't understand this, but words hold weight. So whatever you speak will become a reality for you, even if it's not the reality right now. But if you keep speaking it, it's going to become a reality. So be careful what you say about yourself in your life, because you don't want to come into agreement with that. Yes, I like to learn Spanish or French. Okay, I'll look into a partnership that I can do for you guys who want to learn different languages. Because I love that. I love that you guys have a desire to learn and expand. Yeah, I'm learning Japanese. Dope. Okay. Okay, you guys. Yeah, I'm going to see what I can cook up for my babes who are learning different languages. I love that. Yeah, I loved Matilda too. I resonated with her so much and how she loved reading. Like Matilda was me. Literally. That was my life, y'all. Just a little girl who loved reading books, and she had our little best friend or whatever, and just all kinds of stuff. She was very proactive and independent at a young age. And yes, that's right, Dion. That's right. I'm bilingual English and Spanish. Love that. Oh, we have, wait, is that which flag is that, Queen? I'm trying to see that. Is that Puerto Rico? We got Puerto Rico in the chat. Hey, I'm Chico. It's my first time meeting you, but I can tell that you look good every day. Thank you. Puerto Rican. Period. Shout out to you, babes. Do you know Stray? I don't know that. I'm not familiar with that, babes. I love your makeup. I'm going to do a tutorial on it, you guys. Subscribe to my beauty YouTube channel, Miss Wreath Room 2. Watching from Trinidad. Shout out to Trinidad. You guys are the native land of one of my favorite rappers of all time. Yeah. Shout out to Trinidad. What community? Africa is a continent. Yes, it is. But depending on where I go, there's going to be a community there. There's going to be people there, right? I'm not going to be the only person who touched down in the country. Come on now, don't be dense. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Like whoever is local, the locals. Amen. Let's get back on a positive tip. Jesus loves you. Amen, Damien. Jesus loves us all. God is good. Yeah, me too. Just to visit and enjoy the vibes. I dig it. Oh, are you guys saying that you're just chilling in the live? Okay. I love that too. Oh, you're talking about Africa. I agree. I think that it would be really good vibes in Africa. Thank you, Jaina. Thank you, babes. I have been to Georgia. I have family in Georgia. Okay, we have Raleigh, North Carolina. Shout out to North Carolina. What you want in Africa? I'm not going to say what I want on a business tip. But for a visit, I just want to enjoy the people. I want to enjoy the community. I want to enjoy the scenery. Like I said before, dining. Yeah, I think I just want to take in the experience. Like I said, if there's something professional that comes to fruition, it wouldn't even be something that required like me like really getting into the nitty gritty. It would probably be, no, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into what I would want from there professionally, but it wouldn't require like a bunch of labor. It's not that kind of thing. It would be kind of like me establishing a tie there to where I can go back and forth. Let me see. Am I missing some comments? Hi to everyone who's waving hi. Thank you, by the way, to everyone who liked the live. I appreciate you guys. Oh, thank you all for the compliments. You guys are so sweet. Oh, thank you. Thank you to who just now liked the live. I seen the notification go up. I can't choose a favorite Bible verse. I can't choose just one because there's so many for different situations. Someone said, oh, you bad. Thank you. Mine says Joshua 1:9. That's a good one. I am anti-furry. They are weird, fuzzy animals. What? Where are all of these random questions about different communities coming in from? Why are y'all coming over here with that? Y'all have never done that before. Where is this coming from? I am a Christian. God loves you. Amen. God loves you too. Yeah, like, why are y'all trying to bring that over? We've never given those vibes, ever. Nothing about my platform, nothing about my... Please, don't come over here with that. This live feels comfy. I like your vibes in the chat vibes. Thank you. I'm a very laid back person. Now, I am funny. Like, I always tell you guys, like, you guys see a more tamed version of me. So yeah. You know what? I'm not familiar with his discography. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not. I know he did the major performance. Was it at the beginning of this year? Oh, time is kind of going by fast. That was the beginning of this year, right? I know that much, but I haven't gotten into his discography, to be honest. Okay, God is great. Can you give me a shout out? Shout out to Kristen. Shut? What does shut mean? What is going on? Thank you, Grace. I appreciate that. You're a beautiful man. What's your branch of Christianity? I don't really approach it like that. Like, branch of Christianity, just be a Christ follower. We're all members of the body. So it's not really any division. So why not? I play electric guitar. Should I post about it? Why not? What's stopping you from doing so? I don't think it hurts to post about your passion. You never know who can be inspired by it. You never know who will like it. It's the lip liner. Scared of people judging me. Oh, well, that comes with the territory. Yeah. Like I was saying before, I'm not sure if you just now tuned into the live, but you have to learn how to take the good with the bad. My parents don't know about my YouTube account. Oh, well, are you underage? Be careful. I would encourage people to wait until they're an adult before they start social media content. Because it's a lot out there, and you have to make sure that you have certain parameters in place. I'm 14. If your parents don't want you to have a social media platform, be safe, okay? What's most important is your safety. And you know, people are cruel out here, and 14 is a really impressionable time to put yourself out there to, you know, random people, trolls, all of that. So if you enjoy playing electric guitar, see if there's some kind of extracurricular activity that you can get into. If there's like a band on campus, or if you can pick up like guitar lessons or something like that and work under a mentor and maybe shadow some of their live performances, see if you can look into that with like a chaperone. Yeah, Life Wisdom 573, same girl. I worked as a social media specialist and reported account handler. The stuff I have seen is horrible. Yeah, be careful. I'm in a band actually. Yeah, so play it safe, babes. I say wait before you step into the social media realm, because it's wicked out here. It can get wicked, rather, especially for the young ones. So if you don't have a parent to kind of like help you oversee and guide you, manage, monitor your account, wait. Thank you. It made my day. I'm going through stuff. I'm glad that you feel a little bit better. Please stay away from social media until at least you are 16. Don't post your real name or your real picture. I'd say 18. Shoot, I didn't become a content creator until I was well into my 20s. If I'm gonna be honest with you, wait. Facts. Understood. Thank you. Yeah, babe. Wait it out. Keep doing your band. Stay local. Make sure that there are adults, trusted adults who are able to chaperone and watch out for you. Social media will be here. Okay? So don't rush it. What's most important is your safety and your well-being. I want to see if I can join a blues rock band for guitar. Look into it. See who's local. Like your peaceful, calm vibe. Thank you. Most people say that about me. You know, I don't really get complaints when it comes to my demeanor. So I appreciate that, you guys. I'm glad that you enjoy it. Hi, Jayla. All right, my loves, I have been on here for a minute. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Happy Thursday. Hopefully you guys step into a great Friday. And also I got to make sure I get these people their webinar stuff so they are able to log into the webinar tomorrow. Once again, I am a businesswoman, so looks are not deceiving you, Jayla. But once again, second webinar will be taking place tomorrow. 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Utilize the link in the description box, grant writing webinar, to secure your spot. It will be happening. The last date that we have for right now is tomorrow. We're not sure if we'll be able to launch this up until maybe later on in the year. So secure your spot now so you can start securing funds for your business. And also for my musicians, once again, the Music Publishing Administrative Service is officially live on the Perry Publishing Services website. If you need assistance getting registration and documentation in order so you can start accumulating your publishing royalties. And also you keep 100% ownership of your publishing. So all of those details, all of those resources listed in the description box. Thank you guys for rocking with me as long as you did. Have a great rest of your night and I'll see you guys soon.